But one thing I've always wanted to do was make the ultimate Star Wars piece. It's an 8-part piece, each one representing one of the Star Wars movies that has come out. When people go and they look at this specific artwork, I want them to spend like an hour looking at this thing. I'm still working out the size, and that's something that I'm trying to figure out now, is how I'm going to do this particular size. The only question is, will I be able to finish that in a year? That I don't know. It's one thing to have inspiration from others, it's another when somebody actually calls you an inspiration. And for me, it's very humbling to have a lot of people saying that my story is inspiring them to go out and achieve their dreams. And that's very, very humbling, you know. I'm just the kind of guy who wants to make a living doing exactly what I want to do. And live a life that's exactly how I want to live it. And I think that's how everyone should be, really. If that, in a way, if my story inspires others, especially those who probably aren't in their 20s, maybe even their late 30s, like me, who know it's not too late. We only got one shot at this. We only got one shot at life. So we might as well do it doing what we want to do. And that's what I intend to do. It was my dad's 70th birthday, and it was a lot of fun. We held a surprise party, and he was extremely surprised. I would say my dad is probably one of my biggest inspirations, for sure. Like both him and my mom, you know, they were very supportive. They were very supportive of me, even though they just didn't understand how I was going to make money doing art. But I showed them. But when it comes to influences, especially for my artistic style, there's quite a few artists that I really look up to in terms of style. These were the artists that kind of helped me develop into what my art is today. I think on everyone's list, number one on everyone's list is Jim Lee. Like, how can you not? He's one of the main reasons I got into comics. When I first went to that comic store in the 90s and saw Wildcats #1, seeing that, it was one of the main reasons for me wanting to get into comics, was guys like Jim Lee. You know, I've always been a gigantic fan of guys who put a lot of detail, like all the effort people would put in their panels. You know, I think forever I've been a more is more type of guy. I think the OG for that is George Perez. One of my favorite pieces, of course, is the piece he did with Alex Ross, the Crisis on Infinite Earths cover, which was pretty much the inspiration for my Transformers Megalitho, and pretty much the inspiration for the Star Wars piece I'm doing right now. Another one of my huge influences was a guy, his name is Jeff Darrow. Especially when I first started working in comics, I would love looking at his stuff. All the work he's done on the Matrix films, like I loved looking through that Matrix book and just seeing all the crazy type of concept that he did. And it was just pencil on paper. It was insane, all of his work. When it comes to the actual style that I used, I think like ever since I was in high school, I just love that dark brooding type style. That's why guys like David Finch kind of really, he really inspires me in terms of style. Another huge inspiration is a guy named Stephen Platt. Like his artwork really evolved from when he was doing Moon Knight to when he started doing his own thing, when he was doing Soul Saga. And a lot of his Soul Saga stuff, the way he rendered things again, the way he put things in metal. You know, he would add these little details in metal that I really loved, like little notches, and it just kind of boosted that artwork. So that kind of stuff I tried to start incorporating into my own work. In terms of structure for the faces, I was in love with Travis Charest stuff. I think when I was when I was trying to do comics back in the day, I was trying to be the on-time Travis Charest. I mentioned that before, the on-time Travis Charest. I didn't quite pull it off. In terms of today, like there are, you know, I'm trying to think of like, for example, YouTubers that influenced me for sure. I would say one guy to help me in terms of my work ethic, guys like Eric Thomas. You want to succeed more than you want to breathe, that type of thing. Huge inspiration to me, and to anyone who hasn't seen it, please see it. We'll kind of kick it up a notch for sure. Lately I've been watching a lot of Gary Vaynerchuk. Honestly, Gary Vaynerchuk, watching his stuff was one of the biggest inspirations for me to actually go for it now. In terms of YouTubers, of course, guys like Jazza, Mark Crilly, everything they've done for sure. One guy who inspired me a lot was Casey Neistat. His drive to do all the daily vlogging, and just this weekend he called it quits, mainly because he wanted, it was getting too easy, and he wanted to do things that challenged him, and he wanted to move on to the next step, and that is respect. For Casey Neistat, good luck to him, and I can't wait to see what he does. He is a real inspiration. One guy who's a huge inspiration for me is actually a very good friend of mine. His name is Apple de la Fuente. He is the owner of the Alamo City Comic Con. I met him through some friends at my church, and you know, we connected and we talked online, and then I found out he was, you know, he was a pretty well-known guy in the comic book industry and in the film industry. When you own a big Comic Con like that, I believe the Alamo is probably number 3, if I'm not mistaken. My buddy Apple, he's such a great guy. He's the one who actually got me the reactions from Charlie Cox and John Barenthal. If you don't know, Daredevil and Punisher. He's the one who got them to sign my artwork with this fantastic reply. When he did that, I'm like, wow, what a fantastic guy. So thank you, Apple, for that. That was crazy. That was insane. Like, and he's given me a lot of advice, and he just the way he told me, because he used to work for Comic-Con, and then he wanted to do it on his own, and the way he started his business and all the businesses that he owns underneath, the studio that he owns, Guardian Knight Comics that he owns, and he's been giving me so much sound advice. Such a dear friend. He brought me to Cyber City Con earlier last year, and I'm hoping to be there again next year. In fact, along those lines, I would like to make an announcement right now, because I was trying to think of a deadline for this particular piece. And thanks to my buddy Apple, I have found that deadline.
Coming next year to the Alamo City, the most anticipated event in San Antonio, returns for more. Alamo City Comic Con.
That is right, my massive Star Wars piece will debut at Alamo City Comic Con in 2017. Alamo City Comic Con in San Antonio, Texas in 2017. So for everyone who's watching, book your tickets now and come meet me in person. Thanks to my buddy Apple. He said we will do an exhibit over there once this piece of artwork is done over there, and it's going to be amazing. It really is going to be amazing. So I believe that would be like either end of October or early November next year. I will be in Texas debuting my gigantic Star Wars piece. Thank you to my buddy Apple for making this happen. And I am so excited. I am super excited. This week I felt really behind. Monday I had a seminar that I was doing at Centennial College. On Thursday I was running around all day doing parent-teacher interviews for all my kids, and then the whole family got sick, and preparations for my dad's 70th birthday, which was on Sunday, which is why my latest episode is so late. So I really have to step up my game, and then I'm trying to do some rearranging so that I will have, for my 2 days off, that they will be fully focused Star Wars days, which also means the moving of some parts of my YouTube channel, and I hope my fans will understand. But at the same time, I need to get this done. Especially, I have a deadline now. I'm going to I'm going to do it, because if I miss that, I don't know when I'll be able to debut this. So the deadline's there. I'm going for it. The time is now. Let's get it done.